Hi, I'm James.
And I'm Joe, and we're here to give you this week's World News Update. To kick things off, we have some recent news from the other side of the pond.
Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon's call for a second referendum on independence for Scotland has been formally backed by the Scottish Parliament. The UK government has said it will block any such referendum until the Brexit process has been completed, but Ms. Sturgeon has said her mandate for another vote was now beyond question and warned it would be democratically indefensible and utterly unsustainable to attempt to stand in the way. Part of the motivation for independence is uncertainty as to how Brexit will impact Scotland itself, as Scotland will not want to continue to be part of the UK if England is negatively impacted by Brexit. Scottish voters chose to remain part of the UK in 2014, but Brexit may convince more voters to vote for independence this time around. Regardless of what occurs, this will be an interesting story to monitor as we go forward. In other news, there's been much unrest in the Kasai region of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and that unrest has come to a head recently with the deaths of 2 United Nations experts and 40 police officers throughout the region. The Congolese government is attempting to subdue the rebels in the region, but the rebels are often stronger than any force the government can send to the area. The violence in Kasai was sparked by the killing of a traditional leader who was leading an uprising against President Joseph Kabila. Reports say there have been over 400 deaths total in the region with no end in sight. Even more horrifying is that many of the deaths have been children, and the rebel group is made up largely of child soldiers. The killing of 2 UN employees demonstrates that the rebels are growing bolder in their attempts to remove all state institutions and security forces in the region. It's just another setback in a country that could thrive if only it had stability, and we can only hope that its issues are resolved soon.
Now we have Jackson live in Thailand. What's going on out there, Jackson?
Hi James, Joanna. I'm here in the jungles of Thailand where conservationists have found a new rare species of tiger. 6 cubs were found in the Thai National Park in the middle of the jungle, nesting in a small open area. This now puts the endangered species just under 250 in population. Conservationists guess this happened because of the increase of health in Thai jungle and the general environment. There's hope that this species can be saved from future extinction. James, Joanna, back to you.
On a heavier note, Ahmed Kathrada, a South African civil rights activist, died last Tuesday at age 87. Commonly known as Uncle Kathy, Kathrada was initially hospitalized and underwent brain surgery to relieve blood clotting in his brain. Sadly, his neurological condition worsened as pneumonia began to spread throughout his body. He died early morning at 6 a.m. Kathrada worked closely with Nelson Mandela to end social injustices under the apartheid government. He dedicated decades of his life to combating racial prejudice and discrimination in South Africa. However, decades of radical political activism led Uncle Kathy to imprisonment and forced physical labor. By the time he turned 60, Kathrada had spent a total of 26 years in prison. He is a beloved public figure who instilled global confidence in South Africa's fight against white minority rule. His efforts will be cherished forever and himself never forgotten. More sad news to come. Terror struck the UK on the afternoon of March 22nd, the same day the Islamic State bombed the Belgium airport in Brussels last year. Only this time the attack took place in Westminster, the heart of political life in Britain. British Prime Minister Theresa May said, "The location of this attack was no accident. The terrorists chose to strike at the heart of our capital city, where people of all nationalities, religions, and cultures come together to celebrate the values of liberty, democracy, and freedom of speech." This catastrophic event began when the attacker drove over Westminster Bridge into large crowds of people, injuring pedestrians as well as police officers. The man crashed his car near Parliament and leapt from the vehicle. With a knife in hand, he carried out the attack and stabbed an unarmed police officer. Police immediately shot the attacker dead as he tried to enter Parliament. Following these events, Parliament in central London was put into lockdown mode while streets were secured. For example, passengers on the London Eye waited for hours on the Ferris wheel to be released from their pods. Since then, the British government has deployed additional security forces to the streets and launched a full counter-terrorist investigation. U.S. officials are keeping tabs on the situation and stand ready to assist in any way the UK authorities would find helpful, says Mark Toner, an acting spokesman for the U.S. We, the American people, send great love and support to the people of London. We are here for you. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.